So we did a previous podcast on why Butch Goring ended up with the New York Islanders in their glory years of the early 80s. Now, two players went from the Islanders to the Kings for him. One we're going to be doing a podcast later on, but this, Dave Lewis, of course. But this guy, kind of surprised when he was traded, but being a former number one overall pick, wasn't a shock because number one picks have been traded before, but it was a pretty even trade, but the Islanders obviously got the better of it. But this guy was talented in his own right, a great junior player with the Marlies, a great player with the Islanders over a number of seasons. Of course, we're talking about the very, very handsome and a very talented Billy Harris. Now, Billy Harris, born January 29th, 1952 in Toronto, 6 feet, 197 pound right winger. Played in the NHL from 1972 to 1984. Now, he first came to major prominence in the 1964 Quebec International Pee Wee Hockey Tournament with the vaunted Toronto Shopsies minor ice hockey squad. Now, in case you're wondering what Shopsies is, it's like wieners or food products. Very, very nutritious, salty product is what we're saying. Now, his 4 years with the Marlies, he put up some really strong numbers. His best year, of course, was 1972. 129 points in a regular season, including 57 goals, with 13 goals and 23 assists, 23 points in 10 playoff games. So 152 points that year. Now, Harris was drafted first overall in the Islanders' first draft. He is known for being the first New York Islander. Some Islander players were on the radar, but he was the first one actually drafted, so technically he was the first. Now, he played on Long Island for a number of years. His rookie season, he put 28 goals and 50 points. Then 23, 25, 30, 32, 24, 22, and 15 goals. Now, 1980, late in the 80 season, the Islander management had a chance to get Goring. They knew how to give up something for him. Dave Lewis was already in the mix, and he went over to the Kings. Now, 1980 had 19 goals total and got a chance to play in the playoffs for the Kings that year. But he's always credited with building that Islander team that won that Stanley Cup in 1980. He was never a part of a winning Cup squad in Long Island, but is remembered for helping New York grow from their initial days an expansion franchise to a dominant team in the late 70s and early 80s. Of course, with the Islanders, they almost knocked off Montreal in two successive semifinal playoffs, but unfortunately just bad luck, including the loss to Toronto in the 78 playoffs really put them back. Now, he was also an Ironman. He played more than 500 consecutive games for the Islanders before he was eventually traded. He finished off his last few seasons of his career with the Kings and later with the Toronto Maple Leafs, hometown hero, before retiring after the 84 season. Now, with the Kings, he had 20 goals in 81, and then found himself with Toronto in 82, where he had a total of 3 goals in 36 games. 83, he had 11 goals and 30 points in 76 contests. 84, he wrapped up his career with a return to LA, where he combined years between Toronto and the Kings. 71 games, 9 goals, 14 assists for 23 points. And again, 897 regular season games, 231 goals, 558 points. And in the playoffs, some solid totals, especially that 77 playoff run, where he had 14 points in 12 games, 19 goals, 19 assists, 38 points. But just like Steve Shutt, a little bit of Mike Gartner, very smooth, quick shot, and that 32 goals in 1976, a career year, and he was flying in the mid-1970s, very, very well-liked by the New York Islander faithful. Now, after his hockey career, he got into the business side of life by founding the Muskoka Candle Company in Rousseau, Ontario. So every time a candle gets lit, think of Billy Harris, because he was a candle in the dark for the Islanders in their really rough years. And, it was only him and Eddie Westfall and later Denny Potvin were really the three marquees, and he started to build with Billy Smith and, Clark Gillies and Trottier later on. They had the team in the late 70s, but just bad luck, and unfortunately Goring was the one that did it, and Harris had to be traded, but you have to trade quality for quality. Now, If anybody has any remembrances of Billy Harris, please let me know, especially the Marley fans. There's quite a few on our podcast channel. Please give us a like, comment, or subscribe. And we appreciate feedback if you like what we're doing. And we also take requests as well. So if there's any player we haven't really covered yet from the 1970s era, which we tend to follow, please let us know. Happy New Year. Bye.